welcome to the Toronto Gamers board game review. I'm Justin, and today I'll be reviewing Endangered Orphans of Condyle Cove. Endangered Orphans of Condyle Cove is a card-based game from Certifiable Studios for 2 to 3 players, but there's also a solo mode and a 4th player expansion. In the game, you and your opponents are playing as orphans with the goal of survival. On your turn, you move your orphan around the board and play cards to build the board, help your orphan survive, or make your opponent's orphans suffer. When you're low on cards or options, you make an act of desperation, but run the risk of being taken by the Boogeyman and getting knocked out of the game. Last player standing wins. As always, rules are below. The components are one of the best parts of Endangered Orphans. It was originally a Kickstarter that did quite well, so a lot of the components were able to be upgraded to high levels of quality. The figurines are fun and unique, and the artwork is so interesting and gorgeous. It really communicates the atmosphere and silly dark humor of the game incredibly well. My one critique would be the rulebook. After seeing the high quality of the cards and figurines and box and artwork, the sparse, white, bland, and boring rulebook design really stands out, and not in a good way. It's the only part of the package that doesn't reinforce the very deliberate and strong style Certifiable Studios has crafted with Endangered Orphans, and it seems like a glaring oversight. The theme is reminiscent of the work of Edward Gorey or Tim Burton. It's morose and dark, Victorian-esque, but with a sense of fun and a black humor. I mean, it's a game about horrible things happening to orphans, and orphans doing horrible things to each other just to escape the boogeyman. The dark, humorous theme is conveyed strongly in the artwork, card text, and gameplay. I mean, what can I say except it's a bit of naughty fun that works well. They hit a nice balance where it's not too whimsical, but also not too serious, so you actually feel bad about what you're doing to these poor orphans. The theme actually comes out quite strongly and is one of the stronger parts of the game. Endangered Orphans is a pretty short and quick game. While the rules are basic, move, play, and draw cards, there still somehow manages to be some confusion and pretty common situations that were left out of the rulebook and therefore unclear. Again, the rulebook brings the game down as a whole. It's definitely better to play with 3 players than 2, because much of the game relies on attacking other players, and actions happening on certain spaces. So with a 3rd player, you have more than one target, and more likelihood that a card you play will actually be useful. I do appreciate that you sometimes have to make choices that actually harm yourself in order to keep playing, because that does make it interesting. Much of the game, however, is luck-based, and you might like that, you might not. You do have some strategy that's limited to the 4 or so cards in your hand, but the entire game and how you play does rest upon what you draw and how well you can attack your opponent. Overall, Endangered Orphans is a game that's high on theme and style with pretty basic gameplay. It looks fantastic, and again, I have to commend the artwork here. It's nice when you want to bring out something light, quick, and casual, but I don't think you'd want to spend a whole lot of time on it. I think Endangered Orphans is one of those games that might come out most often when someone new sees the box and gets excited, and I think that's just about how often you want to play it. Once in a while to enjoy a light, stylish game or two. Overall, not a bad game, doesn't really stand out except for the theme and the artwork. Some great humor, and some pretty simple gameplay. If that sounds like something you'd be up for, I definitely say why not go for it, check it out, because at the very least you've got some beautiful components and some fun, stylish atmosphere to play with. As always, you can find the links to our Facebook page and other places you can get information about the Toronto Gamers and see our upcoming events, what's going on, down below. And please do all those awesome YouTube things. Share, like, subscribe, comment. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get the word out about Toronto gaming, and we'll see you next time.